Puttanesca Ciabatta. If you're intrigued, keep watching. This one is special. I'm going to show you how to make it right now, so let's do it. So to make this ciabatta, which is kind of a Puttanesca ciabatta, the backbone of the recipe, a little bit of prep we need to do. Garlic. And what we're going to do with this garlic is we're going to roast it in the oven until it is really beautiful, soft and sweet. So very, very simple. We want some tin foil ready. And what we're basically going to do is just take the top off of this garlic. That way, when it's roasted, we literally just squeeze all of that soft garlic out of the bulb. You'll see, really simple, really good. So take the bulb of garlic, chop down like so. Make sure you go down far enough. Essentially, we want to kind of expose the tops of all of the cloves in there. Peel away some of this loose leaf. There we go, so that is good. And that there is what you're looking for. Like I said, you want to expose the tops of the garlic, or at least most of them. Some of these ones you won't be able to, but as best you can, expose the top of those cloves. Next, put the garlic onto your tin foil, and just to help it along, just a little tiny dash of olive oil on the garlic like so, and you just want to kind of smear that over the top. Feel like this does help it cook. There we go, perfect. And then from there, all we want to do, scrunch all this up basically just into like a little basket like so. And this is going into the oven where we're going to roast it off for anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes, maybe as long as an hour. We keep checking it and we just want it really, really nice and soft. Perfect, let's do it. So our oven is on, that is set to 180 degrees, and in with the garlic. You don't really need to preheat the oven for this one. I've just banged that on 180 and our garlic is going in. Perfect. And that's going to take about 40 to 50 minutes. This is pretty unnecessary, but I always like to just set a timer there just to keep an eye on things. So there we go, garlic in, timer's on, we'll be good to go in just under an hour. Perfect. So I just checked our garlic, 45 minutes, give or take, it is ready. So we're going to get that out and crack on with our ciabatta. Perfect. So the garlic is roasted off now. We're going to put this thing together, starting obviously with the garlic. So there is our roasted garlic. There we have it. So as you can see, it's gone nice and brown. That is very, very soft. So what we're going to do is squeeze this out into a bowl. I tell a lie. First of all, we're going to squeeze it out onto this board here, mix it with some salt and pepper and kind of just puree it basically. So take the garlic and you should just be able to essentially squeeze all of that out of there. Oh, look at it. Still hot. Do watch fingers. Oh my, look at it. Basically like a garlic puree. That's pretty much all out. We can remove any little bits of skin that we come across, but do be careful. Oh look, there's still more. It's still pretty darn hot, actually. There we go. That's pretty much all of it out of there. So there it is, a beautiful roast garlic paste. It will be really sweet, not harsh at all, with a beautiful roasty garlic hum. What we're going to do is add a little pinch of salt, some pepper, mush it all together, and then pop it into a bowl. And this is going to be the base of our ciabatta. So pinch of salt, some black pepper, and this is basically literally just seasoning it. Use a spoon and quite literally just sort of mash it all up. So this is some beautifully seasoned garlic paste. Sensational. Look at it. So you can just spread this on toast, which is what I quite often will do, but today's recipe kind of followed on from this when I was experimenting one day. So there it is. Let's get this into a bowl. A little bit does go a long way. I mean, this is going to be 1 or 2 servings. So 1 bowl of garlic will basically do you enough for like 1 or 2 ciabattas essentially. So pretty much a single serving. It could be 2 people. Right, so that's it. That's our garlic paste. We want our ciabatta at this point. There we go. We're going to toast this off lightly, but first, tomatoes. So here I've got some nice cherry tomatoes on the vine. We're going to remove them from the vine, and using a very sharp knife, we're going to cut these into quarters. So basically just leave them in the bowl, down through them once, twice, and then back in the bowl. And this is kind of a deconstructed puttanesca using all the same ingredients pretty much. A little bit of fun. It's obviously not a traditional Italian recipe. This is just something that I came up with myself. Basically, I always make that roast garlic spread, and I usually just have that on toast or a ciabatta, or mix it with tomato for a lovely bruschetta. And last time I did that, I had capers in the fridge, I had some olives, some anchovy, essentially everything you would put in a puttanesca. So I kind of experimented. I added the anchovy, added a few capers, a little red onion, and turns out it's delicious. Really interesting, really strong, vibrant, punchy flavour. So I'm sharing it with you today. I imagine due to the ingredients, it may be a bit of a dish that some may not like the look of. People do get funny about anchovy. Some people don't like olives and or capers. It's obviously not cooked either, so pretty bold flavour, but honestly, it is delicious. Great starter, brilliant as a snack or a lunch, and it could also be a side dish. There we go. Is that all of our tomato? That almost is all of our tomato. Last piece, beautifully done. Some really good quality, sweet, juicy and delicious cherry tomato. Next, a little red onion. Nice clean board, nice clean knife, and our red onion, very simply off with the top, down through the middle. There we go. Peel off the outer skin. There we go. And when I say the outer skin, I mean this like papery, waxy, plasticky kind of skin that you get. There we go. So red onion, how much we need, we will soon find out. So what I'm going to do is cut through it that way once, twice, and then down through our onion. We do want this to be pretty fine. So I'm going to say 1/2 centimetre, cut down through the onion. So there we go, as you can see, little sort of 1/2 centimetre cubes, I'm gonna say, and we don't know how much we need exactly, so I'm gonna chuck this in there, and then any more we can add. If not, we're good to go. So onion in, and we kind of want like roughly half the amount of onion as tomato, which this actually looks pretty much to be honest. I think we've actually got it. Yeah, I think we're good there. Give it a little stir. That's bang on. That is, yeah, that's perfectly done. So as you can see, kind of like half the amount of onion as tomato, a nice little mix. Next, the secret weapon, we have a tin of anchovy. Now, the anchovy we're going to lay on top of the bruschetta, but the anchovy oil is going in there. So hold that over the tomato and onion, pop the lid, and a nice healthy drizzle of the anchovy oil straight on to our tomato and onion. Give that a really good stir. We're not going to season at this point, but do give that a really good stirring up. Ooh, the smell. That anchovy oil makes all the difference. Beautiful. Tomato, onion, anchovy, good to go. Stick that to one side. So here we have our ciabatta. I'm going to very simply cut that in half. There we go. And for this recipe, all we're going to do very simply is pop this under the grill for a couple of ticks just to toast off this side here so that it doesn't go soggy. So I'm going to do that now, meet you back here, and we're going to put this thing together. Right guys, so our ciabatta is beautifully toasted off. Plate our ciabatta, and the first thing that I like to do with this is get on there with the spread, our lovely roast garlic spread. So basically kind of 1/3 of a tablespoon, just enough to kind of coat the base. It's fairly strong, this stuff, so we don't want it like super duper thick. Pretty much there. Spread that all over. Yummy. So there we go. That's pretty much what we're looking for. A fairly good sort of coating. About the same amount of garlic as you would use butter. It does act very much like a butter on this ciabatta. Next, we want capers. We don't want this to get soggy, so you're going to need a teaspoon. And you want to kind of tilt the jar. Make sure you don't end up with a load of water. You have to kind of hold it and let the water drip off. And then we just want a little sort of coating on the bottom. The garlic will hold everything in place. You don't want to go absolutely mad with these. Same way you would kind of coat a pizza, really. You want a good few on there, but you don't have to go mad. So that's the capers done. As you can see, not a crazy amount, but enough to give us a good kick of flavour. Next, our anchovy. And all we're going to do, basically, lay over a few fillets, 3 or 4 roughly per ciabatta. If you don't like anchovy, don't use it. If you don't like a lot of anchovy, you can just maybe mash up 1 or 2 fillets into the garlic. Up to you. So we're building up those layers of flavour. We've got beautiful crisp ciabatta. We've got a garlic, a roast garlic paste, capers, and now some anchovy. What's next? Olives. And guys, these are the only olives I have currently due to a number of reasons. They're pre-sliced supermarket jobbies, so don't get mad. Obviously you can use whatever you like for this recipe, but we're going to basically just dot a few olives over the top. There we go. Not too many. I'll show you why in just a second. So just maybe 4 or 5 little pieces on the bottom of our ciabatta. There we go. So that will do us for the olives at the moment. We will add a couple more at the end, mainly to look pretty. So now at this point, what we want to do is add a few spoons of our red onion and tomato to each of the ciabattas. They will fall off, they will be a pain, but take your time to load up the ciabatta with that beautiful fresh tomato and lovely acidic onion. So there we go, I'm happy with that. And like I said, just to kind of garnish a little bit as well, I'm going to pop just a couple of olives on the top, mainly just to give it a kind of a nice colour really. You don't want to hide everything away underneath the sandwich. So a few more olives, there we go. I'm getting hungry, not long. So the real garnish, and to give these real vibrant, punchy ciabattas a great lift, we want a little handful of parsley. Remove any big stalks, smaller ones you can leave in, but any great big stalks, just pull those out, bunch them together, and you just want to dice these up really, really nice and fine. There we go, so I'm just going to cut through the parsley once, and we're going to garnish our ciabatta with our parsley. But first, just the tiniest little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And we want a little pinch of sea salt. A little bit goes a long way. Anchovy and capers, remember, so be careful. Black pepper. Couple of little twists. And to finish, just let it fall from a height. Our fresh parsley. And there we go, absolutely incredibly yummy. Have you ever seen a puttanesca on a ciabatta before? Well, now you have, and we're going to tuck in a tick, and I'm going to let you know how these things taste. So there we have it, the most delicious puttanesca ciabatta. There is a lot of flavour on top of that little ciabatta there, so I'm going to get stuck in and let you know what I think. Let's do it. Yummy. That is punchy. There is a lot of flavour going on in there. It tastes so much better than you would imagine. That is so good. Epic. I love it. Like I said, I made this the other day, experimenting, and it was nowhere near as good as this. I had limited ingredients. Today it's been refined. That is so tasty. That on a hot summer's day for lunch. Oh yeah, that is really good. Silky with all the olive oil. Great lift from the parsley. God, that's yum. Yeah, that is really delicious. Really, really, really good. So I'm going to polish this thing off, like and subscribe, find the recipe on the website, thewestcountrykitchen.com. Also sign up to my weekly newsletter. You'll find the link in the description below. That is gorgeous. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. See you later.